Let's see. Is it gonna say that I'm live on my computer yet? That's not what I wanted to click on. There we go. Now it's popping up. Welcome in, welcome in. I got to do this thing real quick and we will get ready. Dude, oh my god. Alright, hold on. Let me fix that. That did not work at all. You cannot do the control enter. I remember that from now on. There we are. Alrighty. So we're here, we're good. We got everything working. We are in business. Let's see what's going on. We having a little bit of a finagle, but we're gonna see what's going on. I ain't spoiling no one. We ain't spoiling no one. Ain't no need to call it spoiling. Come on. I appreciate it though. Welcome in, y'all, when y'all get in. I should probably do another one of those shuffles. I still don't know how to bridge cards, but I can do the first half of it at least. We're learning slowly. Very slowly, but we're learning. So let's see what's going on. Hopefully y'all been doing well. Feeling good. Feeling blessed. Well, not blessed, but you know, feeling favored, I should say, instead of blessed. I think that's a better word for it. But regardless, we're gonna jump into this and see what's going on. Okay, the Ten of Cups reverse is the first card, and with the Ten of Cups reverse, it talks about a form of a celestial bridge not being connected. The disconnect from the divine self and the physical self, and it's seeing it in reverse is always a weird thing for me. I mean, it's not like a good thing to see in reverse off bat, but it shows that there is a disconnect between the divine self and the physical self. Needing to focus more, not necessarily on the heart space when we talk about the spiritual self, but more on the intuition part of things, more on the again, the quiet voice that you hear, being more spontaneous with actions rather than planning things out verbatimly. Like with the Four of Swords reverse, it could just be, again, like certain thoughts that you're having that's making you uneasy or unable to rest. And disconnect when it comes to the intuition can definitely do that. Maybe even taking more time to rest. If you haven't been sleeping well, trying to go to bed earlier, shutting off electronics and things of that nature. Taking certain herbs, drinking certain teas to help you relax and soothe down. Taking a shower or a bath before. There's something where you're needing to spiritualize something though. You're needing to add a new spiritual practice. And if not a new spiritual practice, a new way of spiritualizing something, a new way of seeing things through a higher lens, through a more clear lens, I should say, really, instead of a higher lens, because it's too full. With the Knight of Cups reverse, there's this emotion, there's this feeling that isn't able to be transmuted, transformed. It's unable to go to the next phase of the thoughts. And with the cups coming out first, it's a good sign, especially with it going to the swords and then back to the cups. It's good to see in the sense of that you're beginning to learn how to listen to that emotional self. If this is resonating so far, you're beginning to listen to that feeling self, to that intuitive self a lot more. But there's that disconnect. This could be a realization that there's a disconnect, or just working on it, doing what you can to get to that point. But regardless, with the cups coming out first, and the cups coming out a lot right now, especially with the Knight of Cups in reverse right now, it shows a lot of the intuition, the feeling side of it, the feminine side of yourself that's getting more attention, being seen more, and it's being seen in a state of it not being upright, it not being fully correct. It's not all the kinks in that form of you isn't fully clicked out. And with the Four of Swords, it's definitely showing you like the square, the four. Whenever you think of four, you know, you go back to square four, you go back to step one, right? You're going back to step one with the thoughts. Are you feeling bad? Are you wearing that emotional mask because of the thoughts that you're having? Or are your thoughts creating these feelings? How is it working? What's creating this feeling inside of you? Is it a thought? Is it just how you genuinely feel at that time? What's truly going on? And it shows a lot of speculation, a lot of confusion. You, because a lot of times you'll see people with reversals and say, "Oh, it's a bad thing to see," but it doesn't mean it's bad. The only way a reversal has to go is upright. So seeing a reversal, even though that is usually a no or something's wrong, it shows that there's still a chance to fix it. There shows a chance of it can still go upright. Same as a card upright can still go in reverse. This is just a process of it. You can't be up unless you're down. And you can't go higher unless you've already hit a benchmark or you're lower than it. That's what you're needing to understand and realize when it comes to this. Putting more feeling into what you're doing as well. If you're not feeling like doing something, then don't put so much energy into doing it. Don't allow yourself to sell yourself short on that spectrum there. With the Seven of Cups, there's a lot of cups going on. Okay, today's a cup day. The Seven of Cups reverse shows that you've been like, you might have been overwhelmed with all the things around you. Like, I just don't want to do anything, there's just too much going on. This could, even with all these cups in reverse, could really, especially with the Four of Swords reverse, this could just be like an emotional explosion basically. Well, not explosion but implosion, I should say. It's not that you're lashing out on anything or anyone, you're just done. There's not really much more feeling to feel. So you're looking for this new expendable self. You're looking for what's causing this exhaustion. And with all the cups out, it's this feeling. The swords being out there again, it's these feelings that are restless. They're not allowing you to rest. These thoughts that continuously keep popping up in your field. Even though you might not know how to rid of them now, you now know that that's the cause of what's leeching off of you. You now know all these thoughts of XYZ doing this, with the Seven of Cups being out there, all those random things you're being faced with in life, all the questions that you have moving forward, all the questions that you have now, is just showing you like, I know what it is now. I just can't stop thinking. I can't stop. And it's less of focusing on the physical, because again, there's no pinnacles here. There's no wands, there's no pinnacles. The idea that you've been faced with is still being uncovered. It's still being transpired, but it's going towards the emotional realm. You're taking the steps there, and you've realized, you've seen, there's just something not right. There's something not clicking with me yet. There's still this idea that needs to be uncovered, but I have to dive deeper, right? Well, there's the Four of Pentacles reverse. Again, you've let go though. There's this letting go energy. Some of you might have had something ripped from you forcefully that you had to let go of. Others, you're just letting it go. As time goes on, it's no longer an effect for you. It no longer means or holds a higher energy towards you anymore. You're just releasing the physical. You're releasing your attachment to the physical. And again, some of you all are doing this on purpose, on the consciously, I should say, with the means to really dig deeper into yourself and learn more of you, and learn how you work, and learn how to change the reality around you. And others, this is more of you're letting go because you're just exhausted and there's nothing else you can focus on. And if you are one of the people that you're just letting go of the attachment to things due to you being exhausted, this is your time, this is your sign, this is your message to just nurture yourself. You know that there's a disconnect. You know that there's so much that you want to do, but what is it that you truly want? You want that rest. You want that rest so that you can actually understand what you need. You need that rest so you can actually sit down and begin to cultivate the ideas, cultivate the feelings, the thoughts that you need to move on the physical. That rest is important. So again, however this is resonating for you, those are the two ways. Again, with the Queen of Cups coming out, nurturing yourself. This is definitely a reading for nurturing. With all these reversals, all these cups coming out, the cups are just a major theme right now. This has a lot to do with the intuitive self, the heart space, the moon. Check your moon sign as well. But it has so much to do with moon, with water, with the feelings, with cleansing. There's something that needs cleansed. There's something that might need to be revamped even. But you're unable to move on. Um, it's like, and it's not like moving on from a situation. It's moving on in this process of declassifying yourself from things, from your past, from events in your life. And the pages wands, it's like it's you're getting there. You're slowly getting there. With it being in reverse, you're still not seeing what the divine is showing you. You're still not getting that grand idea due to a lack of nourishment. The lack that you have on the physical can very much come from a spiritual exhaustion. When your spiritual piggy bank runs out, when you no longer have that allowance within that spiritual self of yours, it begins to drain on your physical because you're missing something. And even though you might not know what it is, and you'll come up with so many thoughts, so many reasons for what it could be, it's truly the fact that your spiritual self isn't being nurtured. There could be some education that you need. There could be some meditation, some quiet time, some relaxation, whatever you're actually needing for it. But it's showing you there's this spiritual, like, debt. I don't want to say spiritual debt because that also has a really weird vibration for people. But it is what it is. Like it truly is like a debt. It's you're overspent and now you're just kind of in the sinker with things. That's why this exhaustion's there. That's why all these I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with that. You've spent so much on so many other things. The Seven of Cups reverse that now you don't have anything to spend on any of the outcomes that you're wanting. The Page of Pentacles, though, look at what you have on the physical now. Look at what you have at this point so that you can transmute. Learn how to master. This is your time to really rest and to see what you're wanting to do moving forward. As we stated before, all pages are the cusps between the queen and the king. The queen is the spiritual, the king is the mastery. This is you learning. This is your apprenticeship. This is how you're learning. You're seeing the emotional side of yourself, the feeling side of yourself that's not allowing you to actually create what you're wanting on the physical. And now you're able to rest, you're able to sit back and really dictate and see this. So you're no longer stuck in those cycles. You're no longer stuck in those ways of being. You're no longer stuck in that emotional turmoil that you may have been in. With the Wheel of Fortune, again, this is what we want to see though. This is where you're heading. Once you sit back and really see, what do I want to do? You might have even thought like, I don't want to do something for a few days, or I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, all those things, right? And that's that golden ticket to show you the answers that you've been wanting. You're going back to the top of the wheel. But some people might not even notice is when you are in this emotional depletion. Some people like to feel like they're at the bottom of the wheel, but really it's a chance to be at the top. You're at when you're feeling that emotional depletion, when you're feeling that spiritual depletion, when you're not feeling like doing things, you're really that snake right there. The snake is a sine wave, and the sine wave is a shape of life. When you're on a heart monitor, you don't want to see a flat line that's dead, that's gone. You want to see the sine wave. You want to see that snake. That snake is life. And that's where you're at right now. You're not falling for the fox, the sly fox, the devil. You're not falling for those sweet lies. You're not falling for the past things that seem like they're going to work. You're not taking the easy way out. You're sitting through it. And though it feels like you're underneath, you're on top. You're on top of that wheel. You're able to see what more you need. You're able to see the exact life, the exact path that you're wanting to go on. But you have to listen to that emotional self. I wouldn't be surprised if the Page of Cups came in reverse because you're learning how to speak fish. The Eight of Swords, again, you're not trapped. You're not stuck. You're not as trapped or as stuck, I should say, even as you think. The Eight of Swords, there's a path open for you. Follow the water. Follow your way back to the deep blue. Follow your way back to Mother. That's what you're being asked to do right now. It's difficult to think. It's difficult to see with those thoughts right now because they're not being nourished properly. They're being fed with dirty water, with dirty feelings, with dirty passion, however you wish to say it, right? You can move forward. You're just needing to follow the water. That water is going to take you where you need to be. And the Nine of Swords again, the 8 to the 9 of Swords, reverse even, which is good. You can. It's like this knowing that you can. It's just waiting for that moment. It's waiting for the how am I gonna do it? It's waiting for that just action to fully move forward. And again, getting sleep. Some of you, I just might need to just sleep for a while, you know, just really detach from things and forcing yourself into that detachment, however you need to, right? Doing that will help you at this time. There's not a need for this anxiety. Maybe you've just been so stressed out that you no longer feel these certain feelings anymore. They just kind of blend in and you believe that I can handle it. It's okay. But truly, it's that relaxation that's needing to be happening. You're unable to feel because it's been exerted already. It's unable to be processed. You've stimulated it too much. You stimulated those ways of being too much. You no longer can feel them, right? With the Five of Swords reverse, there is a need to look back. You're looking back at those thoughts now. You really are. You're starting to. When you're in this energy, that's the best time too. You'll be more true to yourself. You'll be more honest to yourself. You'll be able to truly know, I don't want to do this because I don't have any more energy that I can feel. I don't have any more new that I can feel. So I know what I don't want to do. I know what I can't do anymore. There's not a need for me to exert myself anymore. And that's what's happening right now, is that internal focus, that internal thought process of, this is what I need. This is what I'm desiring. This is what I need to put more focus into. You might need to look back at ideas. You might even be looking back at past ideas that you're wanting to dump more time into, seeing everything that you've built up and really questioning, is this for me or not? What am I actually getting out of it? Am I just doing it to get some form of emotional value of it? Or am I doing it for someone that I deem needs me to do it, right? This might even be you going to like an event or something. Are you going to that event because the people there want you there, or are you going to that event because you actually want to go there? And this is where that thought process is going to kick in, where you're going to be less codependent on how other people are and more dependent on how you are. I heard this today. It was funny. But you can't break a generational curse from searching for validation from the generation that is cursed. You can't seek that type of validation from those who are still going through that struggle, who have given up and haven't took that step out. Even though it may look like they have, it's all about that mentality, the capacity that individual has at that base level. If they're not showing you with their actions, with their actual motives moving forward, that they have that sort of knowledge, they have that sort of wisdom, they have that sort of life, that light to them, then they are not of it. And sometimes you end up blinding yourself by, oh, well, I could help them be that way, or they're not always like that, or I'm not always around them, and making those like small excuses. But it's now at this point where you're seeing it as, I no longer can, right? This could be with people, places, things, activities, whatever this is for you. And that's what you're seeing. It's no longer giving you that power. You might be giving a lot more of your power away. You might just be giving people the benefit of doubt, or allowing certain individuals, certain things to overrule you instead of you sitting up on that throne. And this is that time to really to see those things and to digest with it. Again, Empress reverse. There's actions that you're taking. There's things that are ruling you over top of your life that aren't nurturing you. They seen the wheat around you. They seen the abundance. And instead of helping you with it, they're just watching what you do with it, or taking it, or allowing it to just spoil all these things. And that's up for you to decide if you're going to sit there and allow these activities, these places, these things, whatever they are, to continuously do those cycles to you, even if you're doing this to yourself with not taking that next step you need to, and changing that. And this is what the process that's going on. This is that process to get to the top of the wheel, to fully see on the physical that you're on top of that wheel. Because in the spirit, the fact that all these ideas are here, the fact that all this emotional exertion is here, it's already been proven, but it hasn't been acted upon fully. Nine of Cups reverse. Again, this is the genie in the bottle card. There hasn't been that wish fulfillment because there's been things that you've been dumping into that haven't been the best for you. It might be difficult or hard for you to be like, I don't want to do that, I'm just going to say no, because you're so used to doing it, or you really enjoy the things that you used to do. And it's just time to evolve and change at this point, to really seek out what you're wishing for. Don't be the cursed genie of your life. And again, working with yourself. You see the three of Pentacles, the feminine's holding the script, the masculine's talking, and you're holding there with the hammer and chisel. You're holding them in the opposite hands as the Eight of Pentacles. This is something that you're learning. You're teaching yourself with this. You're cooperating with yourself. You're working with the divine part of you and the human part of you, and that's what you're working with. and you're seeing it. You're a little confused. You're not sure how to use these tools yet, but you know they're there, and you've seen other people use them. You've seen the instructions. You know how to do them, but you're needing to put more trust into doing those actions actually. And even if you notice, this whole thing is the dudes. It's the whole masonry. It's a building. You're building with the blocks. You're building yourself up to what you're wanting to get. And it's about understanding that, taking that leap, taking that time to learn. With the Page of Swords, learning the new skills, taking time to study, to research, to be thorough with your art, to be thorough with your life, to be thorough with whatever you're doing, so that it does grow to be better, so that you can reap the rewards, so that you can obtain what you're desiring. And so you don't have to worry about seeing the physical in a low vibrational state, in a state of it not being enough, in a state of lack, because you'll be doing that work. You'll be knowing that you're exerting that energy. You'll be knowing that you're doing what you desire to do, what you need to do, what you've told yourself to do. So even if it doesn't happen on the physical, you'll be giving back to your spiritual self, who's fueling you with all these ideas, who's fueling you with all these feelings, for you to move forward with. And now that you start doing that, you're giving back to that spiritual self, which can give you more in return, so your physical can be more abundant or prosperous in the future. But again, being aware of that uncrowned thought, those thoughts of, oh, it's not working out, or this, that, and the other, being aware of them. It's not about pushing them away, it's about seeing them. Oh, you're not going to get this. Okay, why am I not going to get this? What's telling you that? Is it the physical reality that you're seeing right now that's telling you that? And if it is, understand that that's just that moment right now. You can switch that mindset of, oh, it's going to come in. It just isn't happening at this moment, and that's perfectly fine. And switching that, as not letting that soak up your emotions, not letting that, your feelings, not letting that use your allowance for things that you're not wanting. And again, nurturing what you have on the physical is the key goal. When you get those ideas, when you get those thoughts, even, I should better say, because not many people get the idea thing, but many people who get those thoughts of, oh, it's not working out, this isn't working out, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that. That's because there's something on the physical that you need to nurture. There's something action that you need to do. There's something that the divine has already said, hey, if you just do this, if we can get you here, you'll be fine. And it's about things just being created in the spiritual. You're thinking that things aren't being made in the spiritual because you haven't seen them on the physical yet. It's that time that's getting with you. So clean out that emotional space. The Ace of Cups, being stable in yourself, cleaning out that emotional space that keeps saying that it's not working out, or that it's not going to do this, it's not going to do that. Cleaning that out, allowing the divine to enter yourself again, allowing yourself to have that rest. Be still and know ye are gods, and sit there and understand that things are in process, things are moving in motion. Your higher self might have been telling you this already. You might be getting signs and synchronicities of these things happening already. But it's up to you to keep moving down that path. It's not about having the faith. It's about moving down that path however it needs to be. Listening to that higher self and moving with it. Oh, do this, do that. Just do this to fill up the time. Quickly do that. Do those things as they come. Master that thought form when you do, because this is how these unclean thoughts happen. It's that unmastery of the thoughts that you have, the unmastery of the masculine self that's unable to digest the feelings that you're getting, the feelings that you're having, the feelings that you're expressing, and making it seem like it's inverted. It's causing you headaches. It's causing you to take shots at a later time than needed. It's causing you to miss beats. You might have noticed that as well. And this is not. It's just showing you more and more of the process of how to better yourself, the process of how to receive what you need to receive, the process of just life in general, however you wish to see it or say it, right? But it's showing you the path that you need to take, the path that's going to get you to the foundations that you're wanting. You have to trust it though. And it's less about trusting it. It's more of just trusting yourself, knowing who you are, knowing that you are able to trust yourself, knowing that your messages do come in for you. All these things. Knowing that you can change, knowing that you are able to change. It is solely up to you. And moving forward with that energy instead of allowing it to keep you bombarded and put under pressure and all these things. So we have finances. This could do with money. This could be like finances. Again, finances could be energy. It could be doing with money as well. Just not having enough of what you desire or what you need or what you believe that you need at this time, and letting that stress you out. Oh, I need to have this amount of money and here's the deadline and XYZ. Not letting that stress you out and bother you. Allowing yourself to know that you're doing the steps that need to be taken. And when you do those steps, it will come back to you in time. This is all about root chakra balancing, balancing out that root chakra, balancing out that fear, balancing out that stability. The root is the most physical chakra that we have. It's related to stability, everything on the 3D. It's such an external chakra that you need to be able to take care of it. Some of y'all could have money issues related with your root chakra that you're needing to work through and work with, right? It's about the moon phases. Paying attention to the moon phases, paying attention to certain thoughts that you have around certain moons, paying attention to the astrology of the moons coming up, and all these things are really going to help you with moving forward with this. It's a phase that you're going through regardless. So pay attention to that intuition. Don't be shy or embarrassed. Don't feel like you can't do something. Don't feel like you're changing up on someone. Don't feel like you're doing something wrong because an individual doesn't like what you're doing now, or an individual has a problem with what you're doing right now. That's on them, not on you. That's their observation of it, not yours. It's not the fact that you're changing or switching up on anyone. You're doing what you need to do at that time. You're doing what the divine has told you, has put into you to fuel you with. You're spending your currency the way that you need to, not the way that anyone else needs you to spend it. With the third eye, again, this is you using that intuition. That's you seeing through the veil of your ego, the veil of others. It's just you seeing at a higher rate, knowing and understanding that you are able to receive these things. And again, like you, some may be in a bit of an illusion, bit of a delusion, I should say, not illusion, but delusion. Um, when it comes to receiving messages, some may just be receiving too many messages and ignoring some of them because it doesn't matter, because there's so many, it's just overwhelming. Whatever is going on, don't allow your mind to be stuck within that cloud. Don't allow your mind to be so high above you that you're unable to drag it down. Don't allow that ego to pull you down either when it comes to that. Again, it's about controlling this energy, controlling the energy that's coming from you, controlling all the energy that is surrounding you, knowing that it's around you because a part of you called it in. It's around you because part of you is still holding on to something that doesn't need to continuously be happening, and it's trying to show you what to do to ignore it, to move past it, to overcome it. Less ignore it, but to overcome it. When it comes to the opinions, there could be a lot of opinions being thrown at you, a lot of people commenting on things, and you needing to just ignore it, and not necessarily ignore it, but ignore the frustration that it brings and see the truth of it. Why does it bother you? What is causing that upset to happen? What is causing the people to continuously say those things to you? What cycle is it trying to show you? What is it trying to elevate you higher from? Not allowing it to create a whirlpool around you, being in more of a control of how things are happening around you, being in more of a control of what's going on, you know. And again, it's unblocking you. This is something that's going to help you really unblock a lot of things, a lot of not necessarily issues, but obstacles within your life, is really understanding these. Really understanding that a lot of the blockages that you have come from not a misunderstanding externally, but a misunderstanding internally. You're not receiving something the right way. There's something that you're unable to do. It could come from a fact that you have a hard time expressing yourself, or this is a past cycle where you haven't allowed yourself to be expressive or communicate clearly in the past, and it's coming to you not to shame you, not to punish you or to annoy you, but to show you, to boost the positives in you, if you want to say that, to boost the optimisms in you, to show how people really feel. Maybe it's, again, because you've lost a lot. When you don't express yourself, when you're not authentic with yourself, you lose a lot more than you think. It has a lot less to do with the physical and a lot more to do with the spiritual. It has a lot more to do with the internal rather than the external. So you're receiving it from the external so that it can see it from an internal point of view. What else is going on here? Yeah. Anyway, again, it's not to make you feel bad. It's not a sinister joke. It's not like a bad thing. It's not a humiliation thing either. It's to bring you a bit more of that confidence, to rebuild that backbone in you. I'm getting the Stingray card from the animal deck. Regardless, to crown chakra, letting things happen and understanding them, seeing them from a higher point of view, allowing the divine to activate things within inside of you, not to cause issues but to cause progress. A lot of times when people get energy, when they pick up on energy, I should say, when they're conscious of the energy, it makes them irritated, not because they don't like the energy that they're receiving, but because it's becoming aware. And that awareness is a lot. When you become aware of something, it's pressure that's being exerted and pressure that can be inserted as well. And a lot of people end up getting mad about that because it's just a lot, and that anger only comes from an overload of energy, an overload of awareness, which is really just anxiety or a fear or a stress, or even like your own assumption of what's happening on the external rather than seeing it. And again, it's about controlling that temper as well, letting the things externally happen, learning how to control more of you, not letting the words, the things that people say, whether a compliment or an insult, however, change how you feel about you, allowing you to create your own being, your own emotional standpoint, your own way of seeing things, so that you're not being controlled by the external realities. So you're not being controlled by someone on the external having an opinion. Again, whether it's a positive or a negative, an optimistic or a pessimistic opinion, it allows you to control more of you. It allows you to control more of the energy that you pick up. Because again, even though people want to say people send me energy, that's a lie. You are picking up on what you resonate with. It's you and your anger. It's you and your fate. It's you and your black magic, your death magic, whatever. It's you and yours fighting against the physical. And the devil wants you to fight, Satan, Lucifer wants you to focus on the physical. They want you to focus on the other person so that you damn them and then make your soul shrivel, because your soul isn't there to hurt others or to damn others. It is there to exist, to live, to know and understand that it is part of a grander scheme. And you can't understand that greater scheme when you're busy externalizing, when you're busy blaming others. You can't do that. You have to internalize it and see what's going on. And again, this is this portal that's happening. This is that portal that you're opening, that heart space portal, that crown chakra portal, whatever chakra this is related to for you. You're opening up a new box, a new story for you. And again, it's time to remember who you are again. This could even be past life energy or just in the past. However, it's something that you need to understand. It's something that you need to truly get and grasp so that you're no longer stuck in these cycles. And again, don't do it. And this might be like a sell. It's not all sells are for money, but a lot of people end up selling their soul. A lot of people are stuck in this energy of, oh, I need to talk about this, I need to talk about that, but then they don't. They go against what their soul wants to because they sell out and buy other people's opinions. Oh, what if someone doesn't like this? What if someone says this? What if someone says that? Who cares what anyone says? But that's their opinion. That's their life. If they wish to be focused on those things, let them. That's their fault. That's their part that they want to focus on, rather than seeing the grander side of things. Let them do what they need to do. It's you that needs to focus on a greater scheme of things, not to be overwhelmed or overruled again by the outside physical, because you can already tell yourself all the things that someone else can tell you. You always can. Sometimes it's needed to hear it, sometimes it's not, but it's to understand that even if someone else says it to you, that you need to say it to yourself as well, so that it's not just someone else's opinion ruling over your life. And again, giving your energy, if you want to talk about energy vampirism, that's an example of right there. Even if someone says you look good today, you taking that on and not accepting it as you look good, then energy vampirizes you, because now you have to drain from them and hope that they talk to you more, hope that they interact with you more, to receive more of that feel good energy that even though you have inside yourself, you are unable to unlock or even digest or accept. And again, this is the Seven of Pentacles. Don't overdo what you've already done. Don't continue to try and dig for things that aren't growing. Don't continuously check on stats, on numbers, on on increase or on the physical. Focus on what you desire to do. Focus on what the divine is showing you to do. Connect back to yourself with the Two of Cups, connecting back to yourself, allowing your mind to come back to your heart space. How do you feel after doing something? How do you feel after interacting with someone? If it doesn't boost you, if it doesn't help you out, then what was the true point? Were you doing it solely for someone else? And were you doing that because that's something that you like to do? Or is it something that you felt that you had to do? Or did you feel like someone was asking for all these things, making sure that you're operating off of yourself? With the Six of Swords reversed, again, this is about looking deeper into things, not being so quick to jump to call for things, not being so quick to blame things, taking that internal trip, taking that actual observation down your own feelings due to your own actions, right? And a lot of, I mean, we're going to talk about this too, because like it's coming up right now. A lot of issues that a lot of people have is they want to like ask the divine to do something, like, oh, so and so's doing this, I want you to like, tell them to stay away, I want you to not bring XYZ to me. And what they're not understanding is that they're the ones calling them in. You need to be asking the divine, hey, what do I need to do to prevent this? Where is my, if you're wanting justice or some form of energy like that, you need to be asking yourself, what do I need to be doing? Not be preying on someone else. That's P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y. When you ask for it to be on someone else, you're P-R-E-Y. You're praying. You're trying to make them. It's a whole predator prey thing, right? You're being the predator. You're trying to prey. And this is, again, magician reverse. This is that black magic, that lack magic, where you're not taking control of yourself. You're not taking responsibility for you. You're not allowing yourself to move forward. You're depending on someone else. You're depending on an action to happen to someone else for your life to get better. And it's not an action that you're desiring that's keeping you stuck back in these past cycles. You need to be able to take that power back. You need to stop asking for things to happen to other people, for other people. You need to start asking for answers for yourself. You need to start paying attention to yourself and not to others. That's a hard thing to do for people, because a lot of people just cannot wrap their head around that. They're so stuck on it being someone else when it's really them. And it's, another tough pill to swallow is truly your company, the people around you are just reflections of you. If you were around people who were abusive and assholes, you were an abusive asshole to yourself, and you have to be one to attract those types of things. Like attracts like. You have to be in this same energy. You have to be in this same vibration to attract those things. And people don't like digesting that. They want to play it's not me, it's them. But at the same time, what is that other person saying? Oh, it's not me, it's them. You're the same thing. And people need to understand that and grasp onto that, so they're not stuck in these cycles anymore. It is you. It is you in the fact that you're unable to accept. It is you in the fact that you're unable to digest. And a lot of people can't handle that yet. But that's the truth of it. That's how these cycles continue. That's how these cycles control people. And until you fully realize it, you're going to be under control of someone else. That God that you're calling on to for judgment or for banishing another person is not the same divine love that you think it is. That's you asking for something different. With the star, getting that wisdom, knowing what you're doing, knowing what you actually want, rather than just saying things externally, rather than just saying things that make you feel better, getting down to the truth of it, getting down to the actuality of things. And that's the Ten of Cups upright. That's how you're going to connect with yourself again. This whole thing began on the Ten of Cups, and here it is again. This is how you connect to yourself. Overstanding everything that I've just spoken from. Really getting down to the nourishment of seeing where you are connecting with yourself, seeing how you and your twins internally are interacting and creating the external reality around you and creating those events around you. How is that happening? When that's the Queen of Wands, paying attention to what the divine is trying to show you through the other people that you've yet to internalize yourself, that you've yet to see from yourself. If you can't learn it from yourself and you're desiring to learn that lesson from a soul point of view, nature will create it to happen. And when nature creates it to happen, it's not always going to be what you desire. It's going to be an externalized version of it. It's going to seem more personal because your ego is so good at declassifying it at covering it up with the veil to make it seem like it isn't you. Again, Knight of Cups. This is why you're not moving past certain emotional barriers or moving past certain issues within life, is that lack of matureness, that lack of overstanding, that lack of actually transmuting. So overstanding that and working with that is what needs to be done heavily. Holding on to the truth of things, not holding on to the externalization of things, holding on to yourself, holding on to the fact that there are things that need to be fixed on the feeling scale, that there are cycles that happen, that there are going to be tests, and the test doesn't have to be something that you externalize. The test always starts internal. Holding on to the why did this happen instead of focusing on what did happen, and again, not letting that mental bark at you, not letting the masculine consciousness, the thought consciousness, the rational consciousness stop you from seeing what's happening, not letting it bark at you and bark at your feelings and be like, no, you feel this way because X, Y, and Z, and you can't do all this. Doing those things. And again, 3 of Wands, inspecting that emotional water, inspecting what the mask is doing, inspecting what's moving around in the feelings, what is going on. That might be a fear for some people, but again, that's because you're not connected. You're not allowing the thought space to enter the heart, to enter the divine's quarters. So really take time during this rest, during this time of inner knowingness, to really see what you need, to see what has been going on, to see what you and your thoughts are. And again, if your thoughts are still externalized on someone's doing this, someone's doing that, and I can't XYZ, overstand that's you cursing yourself. Now you've put yourself in a position where you're unable to move past, where you're unable to do those things because you've then said it yourself. You have to watch out what you say and how you say it. A lot of people curse themselves daily, and it's unfortunate to see, but every day is a new day for them to do it. In fact, every second they could just reverse it if they truly desire to. But the desire to scapegoat, the desire to blame, the desire to focus on the external is a lot stronger than the actual desire to spiritualize things. Spirituality has nothing to do with the external. It has everything to do with the internal. And it's slowly being pushed to an external point of view, and it's not how it's supposed to be. The ancients knew this was going to happen. And it's important just to digest these things. And again, as I always say, even if people don't understand these things, it's fine. It's the fact that you're speaking to another soul. It's the fact that the soul that is listening, even if they don't agree, even if they don't understand, is listening. And that soul is going to get it. The flesh won't. The ego can block out whatever it wants, but it can't touch what the soul is going to gather. It can't touch the divine truth within every person, which is the same. It's the ego that's going to gratify it in a different light, which is why it's important, again, to talk about things if you know them, not to hide the wisdom, not to put the blame on people not understanding things. That's you and your fault for not understanding the simpleness in life, of not understanding the actual rules of life, not understanding how a soul works, not understanding and understanding how maturity in the soul works, not understanding the grand scheme, and rather just focusing on the physical aspect of people and their own way of understanding, their own way of even understanding if need be. And again, this comes about power. This is that power force within every individual, known or unknown. And it's protector inside. Removing that internal protector that doesn't need to be there, that the rational side of the ego that's not going to allow you to see the full spectrum, the side of your ego that's going to keep siding with why I'm not going to do this, why I'm not going to do that, instead of siding with the one that is going to allow you to do. Wake up from that slumber, wake up from that illusion. There's not a need to be stuck in it. There's not a need to sit around and allow not only others but yourself to be in a lost energy. Again, withdrawing knowledge is not what the divine wants anyone to do. That's what your ego wants you to do. That's what, honestly, an antichrist would want you to do. That's what the devil, Satan, would want you to do. If we're going to put it on a label, that's how we're going to label it. The divine doesn't want you to hide anything. The divine has no reason to hide. It goes where it needs to go, within purity. If you're not speaking of it, then it's not pure. Then you're not pure enough to speak on it. And that internal work needs to be done. It's about connecting, again, to that internal self. Understanding that you needed that knowledge at one point, and even though it took you a while to accept it or even to grasp it, doesn't mean you hold it back from someone else either. Understanding that that connection that you have with that wisdom, with that knowledge that you share with another, even if they don't physically get it with their rational self, their spiritual self, their actual soul will be nurtured by it, and their life will change on a different scale. And if that's what we're trying to do, is to wake people. They all have their own form. And again, Michael being here, the truth, the protector, this is what it is. Speak the truth. Do not withdraw information. Who are you working with? Are you working with the divine or not? Withdrawing is not working with the divine. Now, of course, you conceal and reveal when need be, but that conceal is not based off of a judgment based off the face of a book. You conversate with those individuals. You have actual interactions with those individuals. And then based off their grasp, based off their vulnerability, their acceptance to change their state of mind, to change their state of being, then you allow yourself to dictate if you're going to conceal or reveal. Not working off the, well, most people or the majority, because you're part of that same majority, because you are resonating with that exact same majority of energy. You haven't changed as much. You've stayed on that same level, but you would like to think otherwise due to, again, ego gratification. Again, you've prayed for something, you wished for something, you've done magic, spells, whatever you've done to allow something to boost you in your life. It's now about knowing what to do next. It's about doing the steps after, allowing yourself to see it. And again, looking for the signs, intuitive signs, physical signs, however, knowing that the signs that you're receiving, especially if you are asking, oh, I need signs, I need this and that, paying attention to them, not being blinded by everything, not being overstimulated by all the signs, picking up on what truly is there for you, understanding that it's not meant to be overwhelming. If it does become overwhelming, most people who get many signs and they think it's overwhelming then begin to get zero signs at all, because the angels that give you those signs, the energies that give you those signs, the beings that give you those signs are not there to overwhelm you. If it feels like they're overwhelming you, they're gonna leave. They're not gonna show up anymore because they don't want that to happen. You then have to call them back. Understand that's the greatest thing about working with the divine. They're not going to force you to do anything. So if you say, hey, stop doing this, they're going to stop. They're not going to give you any more because you've asked for that, because you've said no more of that. So now you have to begin to build up that again and ask for it again. This is that disconnect of energy. That's that disconnect of focus, really seeing things from a spiritual point of view, again, rather than a physical point of view. So many people jump into spirituality and focus on the physical of it rather than the spiritual. They've yet to crack that shell of the egg. The egg is not even, it has no yolk in it truly, which is not good. But again, like, don't mirror back to your surroundings, to the external reality, what you're not wanting to have happen. Mirror out into the reality what you're desiring to have happen. The education, the wisdom, the healing, whatever you're desiring to do, mirror that out. Don't withdraw, don't hold. Again, because that's an old pattern, that's an old cycle. Even though it's with a different subject, even though it's with a different way of being, even though it's with a different outsider outlook or however inlook or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's the same cycle of something not happening due to an internal configuration or profiguration, we should say truly. Again, walking down that path, it's a path of growth. Even if people won't agree with it, even if you're somewhat scared to do those things, it's about doing them anyway. If you've been disposed upon something, why would you not? You know what I mean? It's about being yourself, doing what your soul needs to do, allowing your soul to go through that maturity. And think about it. Humans, when we go through maturity, when we begin to mature and grow, the growing pains we have, the stretching, the body, the stretch marks that we get, our body morphing, our bones growing, all these things, right? The acne, all these other things, the odors. What do you think our soul has to go through to mature? What do you think our soul has to go through to be able to be at a new level, to get it to a new age per se? It needs to be put under that pressure, that fire, that ability to morph and change. It needs to go through that, and we'll feel that more internally, because it's not just the soul that's fighting, but it's not the soul that's growing, it's the mind that's fighting as well. And again, many people are blind to this. Many people aren't aware of these things. Many people fall into the same old cycles of XYZ, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do that, all these things. And again, that's because they're battling with this inner duality of wanting to do something but not wanting to. The Gemini inside of them. The brain is a Gemini. It has the rational side and the intuitive side. It has the right side and the left side. The side that goes, no, we're not going to do this because look at that. And the side that says, no, we are going to do this because I was told by God to do it. All those things. It's the Gemini. It's the twins that you need to be aware of. That's why, again, I uploaded that video of the part 2 of the ego to break down more of it. It's overstanding that. It's overstanding who you are, what you're working with, overstanding your twin individual, overstanding the consciousness of your twin individual self so that you know where you're at, which is in the middle. There are 5 in all things. Really, if we're going to get down deep into it, right? Anyway, regardless, we'll talk about that. We'll make a video about that at some point. But this is that rebirth, that death, that transition that you have to go through, that ending that's going to happen so that you no longer have to go through these cycles. You no longer have to be in this repetitive energy. It's the cycle that needs to happen, that needs to be broken. That change of self, that change of internal self, the change of the external self as well. That's happening, that is going to happen, that needs to happen for that growth, for that maturity of the self, of the soul. Regardless, though, we're going to get into the animal decks because I feel like that's everything that we need to get out right now. So we're going to jump into the animal deck, and then we'll go into, I guess not, because I can't find it like anywhere. I guess we're not going to go to the angel deck. That is okay. We'll go into the animal deck then and see what comes out, and use the other animal deck too. So we'll just go double animal tonight. That's fine. I'm gonna shuffle 3 more times if anything else needs to come out. And we'll take the bottom and the top in the split as well, just for fun. All right. Let's get all these out. All right. Well, we got all the elements out, which is nice to see. Who is first, though? All right, we have elk, which is stable, resilient, headstrong, and the father. The great elk represents earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, friends. The world needs more elk energy. When in balance, supportive, kind, and consistent. When out of balance, pretentious, high and mighty. To bring into balance, eat and drink more consciously. We have deer, loving, intuitive, graceful, and the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them towards a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. When in balance, receptivity, compassionate and nurturing. When out of balance, concerned and protective. To bring into balance nature and children. And spider, creator of prosperity through life's works and dharma. The spider is an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. It's hard at work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than results-oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical priceless tapestry, abundance flows. When in balance, appreciative, enthusiastic, and prosperous. When out of balance, discouraged, tired, and forlorn. To bring into balance, playful creativity. We have oyster, patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. Focus and determination of an oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is, oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted, they become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires in life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it that you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When imbalanced, feels blessed, generous, and masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, and clams up. To bring into balance, share something. Always. Always, always, always share something. Where are you at? Probably the last card, aren't you? Yeah. Elephant. Unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said the elephant is the destroyer of obstacles, so if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with light of self-knowledge. When in balance, 1 point focused, generous and loving. When out of balance, misunderstands fate, and to bring into balance, trust. Now we have butterfly, which is undergoing great change and transformation. The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition. Since air is the element of the heart, this usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps your career. Since transition is accompanied with some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon, committing to one daily routine, a meal, practice, or prayer done at the same place and same time will do wonders for uplifting a butterfly spirit. When in balance, cheerful and graceful. When out of balance, fragile and frustrated. To bring into balance, daily routine. We have, I want to make sure I didn't skip. Okay, hummingbird, which is positive, enthusiastic, spiritually resourceful. Inside the inside the tiny hummingbird resides the endless well of energy and positivity. The hummingbird's secret is that it has learned where they gather nectar, and it returns to those sources daily for nourishment and rejuvenation. This sacred elixir springs from many sources, but it usually involves nature, creativity, and exploring spirituality. Follow the way of the hummingbird, and you cannot go wrong. Every droplet of life becomes sweet, every moment worth savoring. When in balance, smart, curious, and loves to learn. When out of balance, pushy, insistent, and sharp. To bring into balance, take a class. Okay, I did not pass it. Is it at the front? It is at the front. I probably passed it. It's probably the very first card. Maybe it's not. I can't find it. I found it. Okay, I literally the second I say the bat, darkness letting go, death leading to rebirth. Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is the master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. The bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns. No more lingering in the past. When in balance, accepts, adapts, adjusts. When out of balance, refuses to let go and reminisces. To bring into balance, watch the sunrise. And last but not least, we have Sea Serpent, which is healing emotional wounds and expressing desires. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The sea serpent helps us to move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease, and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment, and we let the cool waters of forgiveness heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives, and in other places it floods. It's important to remember that no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true nature. The sea serpent in the second chakra. The subtle energy of the sea serpent occupies the area of the Shadishana chakra, located deep within the pelvic bowel. This chakra is known as our center of creativity and desire and is associated with the water element. Shadhisthana translates to inner own abode, indicating this chakra is the home of the Divine Mother or Kundalini herself. We're going to get the other animal cards as well, and then we're going to be done. Like, that's going to be the whole thing. We're just going to see what flies out this time. I'm not going to worry about the front, middle, and back. I'm going to shuffle 2 more times because that was a lot of cards that just came out. We'll pick the bottom and the top, though, for sure. And we have Turkey, which is good news. You may soon receive an important but very unexpected gift. Accept this with deep respect. Someone has sacrificed a lot to help you open doors and grows. A lot of things will change for the better. Spider, which is manifestation. You weave your web in life. What you see before you are the results of your thoughts. If your current reality does not suit you, then it's time to make changes through conscious manifestation. Your energy can bring in all you desire. Peacock, which is self-love. You will find great power in focusing on the positive aspects of yourself, that which makes you indefinitely unique and beautiful. There are deep wells of untapped inner power in letting go of negative self-talk. Ladybug, which is luck. Your goals are about to manifest in remarkable ways. Dreams are coming to fruition. Stop and enjoy this moment. It's very important to let things flow at their natural pace. Rest assured that in due course of time, your wishes will come true. Jaguar, which is growth. Maturity is the ability to embrace change, and change cannot happen without death. Death does not necessarily mean a physical death, but it could be the ending of a relationship, a situation, or simply your decision to not continue the same old habits. Dragonfly, adaptability. The dragonfly is a symbol of light and change. It is reminding you to bring a bit more lightness and joy into your life in order to bring about the changes needed to reach your full potential. Approach things lightly. And last but not least, cat, independence. You are being encouraged to develop a balance between independence and time of togetherness. This also indicates that you could really benefit from a profound journey of self-discovery. Learn to enjoy time spent with yourself. But regardless, that is the reading. Thank you to all the angels. Thank you to God, Mother, Father. Thank you to all the spirits, souls, ancestors, guides, past over loved ones that are here. And thank you, collective, for being here as well. I hope that this message gave you something to think on, to digest, some form of foundation, grounding, or entertainment, however this did for you. I'm just glad I was able to give you the message. Thank you all so much for all the likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and donations, whether they are energetic or financial. I greatly appreciate them. We're still doing the fundraiser. The fundraiser is not going to really end. It's just going to kind of just be a thing that runs in the background all the time. But if you are wanting to donate to the fundraiser, the stuff's in the description. It's also pinned. But regardless, I love you all so much. Thank you for all the support, no matter how it is.